I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang the regime. I'm from Potty Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. This may be a historic moment, not just for the Carolina Panthers, but for the NFL as a whole. You have never seen in your life one team hoard quarterbacks the way this Panthers team is doing right now, because as of this very moment, the Carolina Panthers have, count them, 5 quarterbacks on the roster. They have Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Will Grier, Kyle Allen, and if you will throw up this tweet here from Ian Rappaport, it reads, XFL News, former Houston Roughnecks quarterback P.J. Walker is expected to sign with the hashtag Panthers. Source said one of the stars of the XFL lands an NFL job. That is 5 quarterbacks for the Panthers. Now, when this offseason started, there was a lot of questions, not just around the Panthers franchise and the fan base, but around the whole NFL. And that's big news in and of itself because, honestly, for the most part, most general NFL fans or fans of other teams don't really care all that much about the Panthers. It's not really a big market in sports media, at least, but there was a lot of quarterback controversy, a lot of talk about who will be the quarterback for the Panthers, and I won't bluff you, that was to be expected because of Cam's injury history, only having 1 year left on his contract, the whole, there's a big change in the front office, ownership, coaching staff. Would they keep Cam Newton? Then we saw the team go ahead and sign Teddy Bridgewater to a 3-year deal. Not to mention our old backup Kyle Allen, who started 13 games, played in 14 games, got a 1-year extension. And we just did draft a quarterback last year in the 3rd round, borderline 4th round because, it was a comp pick in Will Grier. That is 4 quarterbacks acquired in the last calendar year. 3 just this offseason. So the question is, what exactly will P.J. Walker's role be with the Panthers? Is he going to be the starter? I think we can answer that question very easily. No. P.J. Walker will not be the starter, but why was he brought on if we already have Teddy Bridgewater? Cam is technically on the roster, and I'm going to do a video on Cam and his future and where he might land, but you've got Kyle Allen, right? He's a backup. You got Will Grier, who I think the team ruined by putting him in way too early last year. Keep in mind, everyone knew that Will Grier was a project quarterback who should not have played in the first year of him being in the NFL. Everyone who actually studied his game knew that he was not ready to play the NFL kind of game. In West Virginia, the scheme was built around getting guys open. He was a really half-field read kind of guy. Things were pretty much schemed and scripted for him. He did not have to read defenses. Anyone who knew anything about Will Grier knew he should not have gotten in the game. The coaching staff panicked, rushed him into a game in the week where his offensive coordinator got fired, his head coach got fired, and he spent the majority of the year learning behind another first-year starter in Kyle Allen, and Cam wasn't even in the locker room, so there was no veteran quarterback presence. Oh yeah, the offensive line was really bad, and there was just no real sense of any sort of expectation to be actually good at that point for the Panthers. So under those circumstances, a rookie quarterback coming in and even looking decent probably wasn't really all that high. So you have 3 guys who can basically be backups. And then you bring in P.J. Walker, who honestly was a star in the XFL. But let's be 100% honest. Being a star as a quarterback in the XFL means you're probably just half decent. Most of the quarterbacks in the XFL, much like the AAF, were not great. If Cardale Jones was the best quarterback in a league, then you know what we understand what's going on with the talent distribution in that league. It probably wasn't all that great, but let's be fair to the XFL. The talent level is what the talent level is, and P.J. Walker does have a standing relationship with our new head coach, Rev Rule. He did spend 4 years at Temple, and here are stats here from Temple. They're from 2013 to 2016. Honestly, these numbers aren't really all that great. And when I say not that great, I mean they're actually pretty garbage for quarterbacks in college. Look, 60% completion rate in the NFL is borderline, like that's actually the cutoff for even being an NFL quarterback. If you can't hit 60%, you probably aren't really all that great. You're probably not all that accurate. This man's best year in college was his freshman year, where he had a 60.8% completion rate. And these numbers really don't tell me much of anything, honestly. Now, we know Temple isn't really a great school for football, but you're also not playing against the best schools competition-wise in the American Conference. But I mean, 20-8 for touchdown to interception ratio, freshman year, 13-15 sophomore year, 19-8 his junior year, and then his senior year, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I really just do not see it, especially since he did not crack 60% completion rate past his very first year in college. I don't like anything I saw from him at Temple. And then you see his XFL stats. They're not really all that bad. 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 1,300 yards in a very short season. It is what it is. You got to respect what he did in the XFL, but you have to put it in the context of it also being in the XFL. And what kind of real competition was this guy facing? Are we saying the defenses in the XFL were really all that great? I'm not going to sit here and talk down on a man by talking down on the defense he played against, because we all understand exactly what we're seeing and exactly what the talent level was in the XFL. And I will go ahead and say this: if the XFL had more time to grow and develop, maybe there would have been more actual competition on defenses for quarterbacks. But we know coronavirus cut that short, so we don't really know exactly how it would have gone if the season had lasted longer. But if I'm going to be 100% honest here, I just am not really all that sure where PJ Walker fits into the Carolina Panthers quarterback room. Is he a camp body? Is Rev Rule giving one of his ex-players a little bit of a favor here by saying, whoa, I'm going to sign this guy right here? Maybe other teams will get him, because we obviously have way too much. There's way too much depth in the QB room right now. Or is this going to be a real competition for PJ Walker to come in and say, look, Kyle Allen, Will Grier, your jobs are not really all that safe as the backup for the Panthers right now? Because even though Kyle Allen did sign that 1-year extension, his money isn't really guaranteed. So he's not really cemented securely on this roster. Will Grier, I really think this team ruined him. I think he would have developed into a much better quarterback, but the expectations of every single quarterback, no matter what round they're drafted in, to come in their rookie year and be very, very impressive and be a polished NFL quarterback off rip, is kind of ruining a lot of these guys in the league. I mean, for a 4th rounder kind of guy, it feels really weird that Will Grier got a really, really raw deal, especially from the fans of the team. And that's not taking any blame away from the coaching staff, the front office, and the ownership for not saying, whoa, that's not a good idea to put this guy behind this O-line. Given the circumstances of the whole coaching staff being gutted, just throwing him out there for the last 2 games of the year. It also got DJ Moore hurt. I don't want to get into that anymore, but I'm just not really all that sure what PJ Walker can really do. Last season in the NFL, he was the 3rd stringer for the Colts, I believe. I just don't see him being all that much better than Kyle Allen, honestly. Kyle Allen is a good backup, all right? Kyle Allen is a solid NFL backup. He's not a guy you want to be on the field for 13, 14 games in a year. But he is a guy who plays well enough. If you need to be on the field for 3 to 5 games, he can win you half those games and keep the ship afloat until your quarterback comes back. But all that aside, I won't bluff. PJ Washington could come in for this Panthers team in a role that's kind of similar to Taysom Hill's for the Saints. The man can run. PJ Walker can be a rushing threat. Maybe you bring him in for specialized sets. You bring him in to trick defenses. Maybe he can catch the ball a little bit. I don't know if he can, but he can run the ball. He obviously can throw. Not really all that accurate, but he's gotten better over the years. He could come in and be a Swiss Army knife kind of guy, but at this point for this team, in the position that we're in right now, do you get rid of guys who could be long-term backups for, trick play possibilities for 3 or 4 plays a game? It seems a little gimmicky if he were to stay on this team, and I don't think he actually beats out Kyle Allen. There's a good chance he can beat out Will Grier right now. I don't want to get into a sunk cost fallacy right now talking about the pick we used on him. So maybe you can stay on the team by beating out Will Grier, and there really isn't that much trade value for Will Grier right now, so you really have to probably just cut him. I don't exactly see what role he would play, but I am very, very interested to see what Rev Rule can do, what Joe Brady can do, but it depends on how exactly this scheme is going to be run, I'm not sure. But I will tell you this, judging a player's NFL potential based off of their XFL performance may not be the best way to go about business. He could be good, but these alternative football leagues are alternative football leagues for a reason. The talent just really is not there, and it's going to be hard for these guys to reproduce what they did in the XFL in the NFL. That's all I got for you, though. What do you think is the most likely outcome of this 5-quarterback situation for the Carolina Panthers? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.